My name is Skylar, and today we'll be studying DNA fingerprinting. One night, during a dinner party, a heinous crime occurred. An innocent was killed with a lemon. Help was called, but it was already too late, and the killer had vanished. An investigation ensued, and the murderer was found using VNTR DNA fingerprinting. 2 hair strands were found at the scene and tested against the DNA of the victim and 4 suspects. Here are all the individuals involved in the crime: the victim and 4 suspects, the killer, witness 1 being the mother of witness 2, and the homeowner. VNTR DNA fingerprinting is used to differentiate between DNA samples. A variable number tandem repeat, or VNTR, refers to the location in a genome where a short nucleotide sequence is organized as a tandem repeat. These can be found on many chromosomes and often show variations in length, number of repeats, among individuals. Smaller fragments are able to travel further down in the gel compared to larger ones. In this case, it is used to compare DNA samples from a crime scene to DNA taken from human suspects. 2 hair samples were taken from the scene for processing. 2 evidence samples were found at the scene, and DNA fingerprint analysis was used to figure out who the killer was based on the DNA left at the scene. Here are the 2 gels for locus 1 and locus 2. Let's first look at sample 1 for locus 1. The top allele for sample 1 matches up with the killer, witness 1, and witness 2, and the homeowner. It is important to note that since witness 1 and witness 2 are related, they share a match of one of their alleles. However, the bottom allele only matches up with the killer and witness 1. Therefore, we can rule out the victim, witness 2, and the homeowner for being the owners of the DNA for sample 1. To determine who the DNA belonged to between the killer and witness 1, we must look at locus 2. We see in locus 2 that sample 1 only matches with the killer and the homeowner. Since the homeowner wasn't a match for locus 1, we can verify DNA sample 1 had to belong to the killer. For the DNA to be a match and the individual to be considered the owner of the DNA, both alleles have to match to both alleles of the specific DNA sample. Therefore, from these results, we can conclude that DNA sample number 1 belonged to the killer. Next, looking at sample 2, we see that the only match is with the victim for locus 1. Therefore, all other prospects can be ruled out. To verify the findings, we look to locus 2 and also see that sample 2 only matches with the victim. Therefore, we can rule out all other prospects and verify that the DNA sample found at the scene had to belong to the victim.